The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Forum, assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, you have our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Indeed. Next, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
I'm going to pour one out for our fallen homie today.
Is that Moses?
Yes.
Oh.
That's why I poured it into a cup. He wouldn't want me to waste it either.
Okay. Shout out to the backbone, Moses Magnum. He's not here today. I don't listen. Oz might know more than I know. I hope he's not fallen. You know, but hey, I'm sure he's just making the world a better place for you and for me. So shout out to Moses Magnum. He won't be with us today, unfortunately. But I'll be here. My name's Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today because we're going to be talking to you all about the latest Disney Plus series, Ironheart. And we're going to be talking to you all about the movie Dandadan, Evil Eye. So we got both of those happening. And of course, we'll talk about whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. And we'll tell you how it is. You can let us know what it is you might want to chat about in just a moment. But before we do any of that, we want to make sure that we give thanks to Scott Rubin, because Scott Rubin, without him, the show would not exist. So shout out to Scott Rubin. Hope all is well with you, good sir. And with that said, let's go ahead and have the intern do their thing and tell you how to get down with Fantastic Forum.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Indeed. Please feel free to join us. This show is interactive, so feel free if you want to call in. You can go to fantasticforum.live, hit the call-in button, and you'll have the coveted spot of the fourth member of Fantastic Forum, so you can make that happen if you like. If you're a bit shy, you can always put your comments into chat, and we'll take your comments directly out of chat and bring them into the show. So whichever floats your boat, whichever works for you, that's what you should do. And with that said, gents, hey, it's good to be back here with you all once again. You all doing okay?
So did Mo call ICE to get a free plane ticket?
What?
Is that what happened? He's on vacation, right?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think there were any planes involved, right? He's like still in California.
No. I thought he
was
at someplace nice.
Wow, how dare you? See, it's so funny how the rest of the country treats California like people. I heard somebody say the other day that you know who it was? It was Bill Burr, which I think he was doing just a bit, but he was like, he was talking about how, people in middle America talk crazy, saying California is insane. And then he's like, people in California talk mess about Texas. And I'm like, who in California is having conversations about Texas? I've never been in that conversation where we were like, oh man, those Texans.
Hey, it would probably help if every time I turned on the news, California wasn't on fire. Listen,
sometimes California's on fire. That happens. But I'm like, Like, why are we
on
talking
fire every year? I used to live there. It's like every year.
Like, look,
Yeah.
there's a season. Yeah.
We have fires like other people have hurricanes.
I mean, not even. I feel like the fires stay more within the the season than the hurricanes do. The hurricanes happen whenever they want at this point. But my thing is this. It's like, why are we pretending like people don't like it here or don't want to live here? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everyone can live here because it's expensive. But why are we acting like people aren't forced to go? Like, you know, like if people could afford to live in California, they would, right? Am I wrong in that?
I left.
Yeah, but
I know people that
you
want to live in California, but they Google the rent prices and they're like, nah, I can't do it.
right. Like Oz, if
to.
you wouldn't want to live in California at all? Like, there's no part of you that would be like, oh, it's cool there? Like, you lived here a long time.
Not anymore. I got enough of it. It's a good place to visit. I mean, you know, it's nice out there for a little bit, but
yeah. Okay. Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
Last year, because I go to Comic-Con every year, and San Diego's a nice area. I love it there. Walk around, and all kind of fun. So last year, my plane was delayed, and so I was there for most of the day on Monday after Comic-Con, and it was it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm really not. It was almost like a scene from The Walking Dead. Like,
because there were so few people there, right?
No, because the people that were there were on something, probably fentanyl, because they had that like methylene they get. And I mean, it's not like there's hundreds of them, but I was uncomfortable walking the same streets I was just walking like the day before.
Really?
Because they're either doing that lean or they're the the crazies that are just yelling at the air.
Yeah.
Like you could just look at something else in their direction and you're starting something.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
it's just crazy from one day to the next.
One thing that I would never like argue with anyone about is the fact that, there are a lot of unhoused people in California. And, the reason for that is because, well, not only are there random states that ship their homeless people to us, but obviously it's easier to be homeless in California than a lot of other places.
Right. You'll freeze to death if you're homeless out here.
Say what?
You'll freeze to death if you're homeless out here.
That's the whole thing, right? Like there's literally entire swaths of the country where you'll either freeze to death if you don't have shelter at night, or you could die of heat stroke during the days, depending on, the season, right?
This week would be the week where that could happen if you're outside all day.
So, okay, so we get why, like, other states talk about California as if we're out here doing something wrong because we have so many homeless people, when it's like, dude, homeless people are just smart, where they're like, okay, maybe I should go to the place with the temperate climate that actually has services for me too. Where I'm just like, yeah, if you turns out that you happen to not have a home in California, we'll try to help you out some, at least try to see if you can get
I think that's where we have that issue. I'm not necessarily saying you're doing something wrong out there. I'm just saying that's how it is. Like, it just, I'm acknowledging that it exists, and I don't want to exist in it. That's it.
Well, no, and that's fair, but it's like one of those things where, like, if other states were a little, like, if they were a little bit more, like, we're in that same vein, like, we could actually maybe, like, solve homelessness, because then it wouldn't be, like, so concentrated, right? Like that's the like, we could solve homelessness in California if every city was willing to do their part, but every city's not. Like, every city's like, they're like, yeah, we don't want homeless people, but we don't want any services for them where we live. And it's like, well, What is that? What are you talking about? Like we can't do that, right? Like we can't corral them in one place. We tried it. That's why we had Skid Row, right? We tried it, and then somebody was like, actually, we like to build high rises there, But it's wild, man. But look, that's not the point. The point is, it's like people like coming to California, and it's so wild that we try to pretend like that's not the case. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong.
All that to say, we miss you, Mo.
Right, Mo's in California still, right? Mo's like, I'm going on vacation in my home state. Which, yeah, like California's big enough for that too. So, hey, man. So listen, we got a lot of interesting comic book stuff to be talking about. There was what is the final Fantastic Four trailer was released today. I don't know if
I saw images of that.
Yeah.
I saw the thing with a beard.
The thing with a beard?
Yeah, I'll look for that image.
I didn't see that in the trailer.
I know the book where the thing gets a beard, and that's like a dark story.
Oh. Well, listen. Like the way that they're talking is like a lot of the and I don't want to spoil anything for folks or whatnot, but if you're following the breadcrumbs, right? If you saw Thunderbolts, right? And you're looking at some of the things that they tell us or that they've shown us in these trailers, a lot of this joint is looking like Fantastic Four may not win this joint. So I'm just like, it don't get much darker than that, right? If you have to fight Galactus and lose, well, I don't want to tell you what happens next, but if you know, you know. Right? So I'm like, look, that might be why you got thing with a 5 o'clock shadow or whatever. But yeah, I look, I watched it on a small screen, so I might have missed it. I can totally see that happening. I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan either, so I don't even know the book with thing with a beard. Oh, what in the world? That's hilarious. That's not even 5 o'clock shadow. That's the full on, huh? Like that's the Santa Claus. That's fun. He looks like what's he look like? He looks. I don't remember. I don't know. Like there's a fictional race of some things that reminds me of, but I can't remember what it's from. So, but anyway, you know what? This trailer made me realize that I was not. It hadn't really occurred to me, and I think that's because this trailer has a lot more shots of the four of them together. I didn't realize how much the differences in the costumes bothers me. And I'm not talking about the difference of the costumes in the movie versus the comics. I'm talking about the differences in the costumes of each member inside of the movie. Like,
I thought Mr. Fantastic was Mr. Fantastic is the only one that really has it different.
No, they're like, don't get me wrong, Mr. Fantastic is the most different because I think all the rest of them have like a white top, right?
Yeah.
But they're not a consistent white top and then Mr. Fantastic is different. It's like they all kind of have their own like design to them. Like it's legit like they're wearing like 4 different versions of the Fantastic Four costume. And I'm just like,
no, that's not cool.
I don't think I like that. Right. It's like, because like Fantastic Four's costume design is pretty classic. And yeah, it does change like periodically, but it's not, the differences aren't very stark, especially if everybody's wearing the same costume, which is often the case with Fantastic Four. Like Fantastic Four isn't like, for instance, like, I'm trying to think of like what the right team is. Yeah, see, look, so I guess maybe Thing and Johnny is very close, right?
Well, I guess because Johnny actually has gloves, so it
Yeah,
makes the
but-
white look longer, and Sue
Yeah.
has no stripe. She's just got
Right.
like a
Right.
turtleneck.
Like Sue is wearing the classic Fantastic Four costume, in my opinion, or at least the closest to it. You know? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the classic one. Maybe what Mr. Fantastic has is the classic one. I guess it depends on when you started reading Fantastic Four, right? Like when I think about the Fantastic Four costume, Sue's costume comes the closest to what I think about in my head. Mr. Fantastic's, I feel like might be like, say, the OG costume, like when the Fantastic Four was introduced, that might be that costume. I'm not sure, but like I know that there's a version that is closer to what Johnny and Thing are wearing, but I don't like the differences. Like I want them all in like one costume. And I'm not even saying they can't change it during the course of the movie. Like, you can use all 4 of those costumes as far as I'm concerned. But I want everybody in those costumes, like, I want them uniform. Like, Fantastic Four is one of the few, like, superhero teams where I kind of like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess that's what I would like. Like, you know, Avengers.
Did the Thing have a shirt when he first appeared? I don't think he did.
No. Not in the no.
That might be throwing you off too. Plus, it looks like his is ribbed for her pleasure.
Hilarious. No, it is a different, like, yeah, it is almost like a sweater. And that was like, right, like this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not the same. None of them are wearing the same costume. they all have a 4 on them, but it's like different versions of a Fantastic Four costumes. And I'm just like, wow, like I'm not sure that like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's gonna make like it's a deal breaker for the movie. Honestly, like this trailer also made me feel like this movie's probably gonna be really good. But if I had a something in the back of my head that was like bothering me, I found out with this trailer that that's what it was. Where I'm like, oh, like why are these fools wearing each their own costume? And I don't know. Like I guess. Like for other groups, like when you think about like the big groups in Marvel, it's like, you know, okay, yeah, see, so this is the classic Fantastic, like this is like OG Fantastic Four, which, and even Reed Richards in the movie isn't quite that because it doesn't have that black collar, right? Like that black collar is kind of what like makes it like, okay, like that's like OG Fantastic Four is this, and then the white collar is like in my mind that's like the standard Fantastic Four. That's like, you know, this is obviously like, you know, like this is Fantastic Four in the 60s. Is
Sue wearing shorts or is that a penny line?
No, I'm pretty sure it's shorts. Like
Shorts
it's
and pants.
Yeah, I think it's like trunks, and then she has like leggings or something as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I don't think it's a panty line. I think it's actual trunks or something. Which I think all of them might have it, right? No, does Johnny Storm not?
Johnny Storm looks like he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see the line all the way
as prominently.
Yeah, so that's what made me think it's a penny line.
Yeah, no. But yeah, man, so I was like, huh, that's interesting. And it's a interesting choice. Like, you know, like I wonder what made them decide like they need to be different. I don't know if it was a thing where they're like, well, you look at like the other groups inside of Marvel, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, no Avengers wear the same thing. The X-Men are the same way, right? None of the X-Men wear the exact same thing, except for very rare occasions where you have like the X-Men and like they do kind of have like a standard X-Men
thing in First Class.
In that movie, they do have like the standard kind of X-Men uniform, but each one of them kind of does like a little something to differentiate it.
Yeah, but I mean, they had to, like, Havoc needs the speaker.
Right.
So,
well, yeah.
It's the same costume, but with whatever their power base is has a difference.
I mean, there's like some slight differences, but you're right. Like, and again, like the X-Men generally, like you don't really think of even the classic X-Men weren't all wearing the same outfit. Technically, it was very similar to like what we're talking about with Fantastic Four, where it's like a motif, and it's like each of their takes on the motif. But yeah, man, I just like no, like Fantastic Four, like I feel like that's part of their thing. They're like it's almost like how when you take the family photo, and you're like, okay, we're all dressing in this, like it kind of feels like that, like as a group picture. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. So anyway, so yeah, I don't know if you all like have. I know Jay, you haven't seen the trailer, and Oz, you I guess you've only seen pictures, huh? So, but you all are in on this movie either way. Like at this point, you don't need a trailer to go see it or not, right?
No, in fact, I don't have a pass for Saturday at Comic-Con, so that's probably when I'm gonna go as early as I can and see if I can catch one.
Oh, okay. Look, I mean, are we invited or? It's like, can we go watch Fantastic Four with you or no? Like you said,
I don't know how many tickets will be available.
You said it like it was. Well, yeah, but did you get a ticket already?
No.
Okay, so I'm just like, but you talking like it's a solo mission. I'm like, I mean, I would love to go see Fantastic Four with you all, especially like when's the last time we got to go actually watch a movie together? It's like it's been
Thor.
Which Thor?
The first one.
Damn. Okay, so that's damn. I was gonna say it's been a decade, but Thor was longer than that, right?
Yes.
Because like Iron Man, well, it's not Iron Man. It's not that far, right? Iron Man 2, because Thor comes after Iron Man 2, right? So,
although I don't think Jay was there. I think it was just me, you, and Mo because it was for his birthday.
Oh, wow. So yeah, like I feel like Iron Man might have come out like what 20? Is that 2012?
Then I think.
I mean,
I know we were all together for Scott Pilgrim because we saw that at Comic-Con.
Right. That was a long time ago.
I don't remember what year that came out though.
I don't know either. I'm not good. Like
Thor was 2011.
Wow, that's
Scott
crazy.
Pilgrim
2010.
Yeah, man. Like Scott Pilgrim might be like 2012 or something like that.
It's 2010.
Damn. Okay, so Thor was the last one. That's insane.
2011. I think I had already moved out by then.
You moved out of California?
I think so.
Man, has it been that long? That's crazy.
Well, I've been at this job for 8 years.
Oh man, jeez.
And then before that, when I was in North Dakota for like 3.
Mm-hmm.
So 11 years ago. No, I would have still been. I guess it would have been like 13 or 14, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, man. So okay. But yeah. So yeah, everyone's planning on going to go see that joint.
Yeah, if you guys can make it. I mean, I don't know what you guys got planned. I always assume my missions are solo missions unless somebody joins in.
Got you. No, I hear you. Now listen, it's wild that they're like, we're just gonna release a Comic-Con weekend. Like they're just like,
no.
Oh, Marvel's like, wait, what's happening? They're just like, F San Diego. Look, good. Look, if San Diego knows what's good for them, every theater will just be Fantastic Four. Like, no, they won't even try to show any other movies that weekend. Like, why would you do it? What are you going to show? Like, just look, everybody in San Diego
will still be in theaters.
Oh, are you sure? Look, I'm not saying that it won't be in theaters after that weekend. I'm just saying, listen, man. Like,
I think I said it last week, man. I'm not sure after I heard the term Justice Gang.
Look, I actually think that movie is going to be pretty decent, but yeah, we'll see. Like I'm. Let me put it like this. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. There was a point where I wasn't. I am now. So here's hoping. So before we get into our topics, I just want to mention there is like Marvel did release a new mobile game. What is that joint? Mystic Mayhem. And I was hoping to get the opportunity to play it before we got on the show so I could talk about the experience or whatever, but I didn't get to. I do know that it is a like team-based like RPG or like tactics RPG type game. So I don't know how good it is or isn't. More likely than not, tomorrow I'll probably go ahead and play it. But it did release today, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm just mentioning it in case people in the audience are like, would want that information. So like, Lord knows I don't need another mobile game to play in general, let alone a Marvel game, because Snap is enough. It's too much. more than enough.
Looks like the DC game.
I hear what you're saying, but not really though, right? Like, not.
Is that still live?
I don't know.
I mean,
yeah,
kind of. Oh, this is story.
No, that's cinematic though, right? You're talking the gameplay.
Yeah, here's the gameplay.
Yeah.
It looks like the DC game. I mean, obviously not exact, but it doesn't seem like a tactics game. Like you say tactics, I think like Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Am I thinking of the right one?
You mean
this is more like XCOM?
XCOM. That is XCOM. That's That's what I meant. XCOM.
Yeah. Okay. I'm about to say yeah. No, and I feel that. But see, like now you see the little whatchamacallit, like, it's not. It's definitely not.
It's like the DC game with more clicking.
Okay. Like, I know it's like, I think it's been described as like a tactical RPG. So yeah, but we'll see. Like I said, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know how good it is or isn't. But I am planning on giving it a try.
Why is there so much Nightmare stuff lately? That's Nightmare, right? I would say Nightmare.
You know what? Yeah, and that's a good question.
He's also in Snap too, I think.
Yeah. That this last. Well, I will say this: like this last season was more like a mystical season, so it kind of makes sense for Nightmare to be a part of that. Like, he was one of the cards. But they released a number of cards that season, all of which were on theme because they had Merlin as the season pass, and the last one was Dormammu, which Dormammu, wow, it's a good card. Like, it's interesting. It's what Destroy has been waiting for, I think. So, which is crazy because Destroy is not bad. It's never really been bad. Like, that's all Moses plays really is Destroy decks for the most part. So, like, I can't wait for him to get his hands on it and see, if he likes that in regards to that deck. But yeah, man. All right. You all ready to talk about some Ironheart?
Yes.
Let's do it.
That would be my cue.
Let's do it.
All right.
Giddy up, Joe. Giddy up. No.
Also.
No, more about gel coat.
When the fourth round would...
Don't you call it?
Does it look good already?
Jumbo Scampi for limited.
Right. Ironheart. It's the latest Disney Plus series, latest addition to the MCU, Marvel Television, starring Riri Williams, or featuring Riri Williams, and basically talking about her transition from being a promising student at MIT, from that transitioning into I guess a criminal in Chicago.
I wouldn't say transitioning. I mean,
she's always been a criminal.
Yeah, that's how she built her suit.
I mean, wait a minute now. Come on.
She was a criminal in Wakanda Forever.
Wait a minute.
That was the thing I didn't like about her.
Now, wait. Now, she was selling papers at MIT, right? Is that makes her a criminal?
She was also stealing shit in Wakanda Forever.
She what?
She was stealing stuff in the Wakanda Forever.
What did she steal?
All kind of stuff to build her suit.
She didn't steal things.
She stole things.
What was she? Where? You saying that? But what?
I mean, they don't show her stealing stuff, but she mentions she had to pay for her stuff somehow.
She paid for it by the papers. So the things that she used to build the suit, she raised money selling papers. Like, you know, and she wasn't just selling papers, but let's say she's selling papers. Like she's doing other people's work and they're paying her for it, right? Then she uses that money to buy the stuff for her suit, right? So none of that is stealing, right?
It's not stealing, but it is criminal.
What? It's only criminal if it's illegal, right? Like a crime has to be committed. Right? Isn't that what a criminal is? Someone who's breaking laws?
I mean, she stole the suit from MIT.
She didn't steal the suit from MIT. You're talking about in the TV show?
Yeah.
No, she paid for the suit in the show too.
It doesn't matter. If you're a student at MIT, whatever you create also belongs to MIT.
No, that's
yes.
No.
Yes.
That's not how. Why?
Because you're a student there, you're using their resources. Those are the rules. That's the law. They could sue you.
No. Well, first of all, it's not a law. That's just there's no law. Like we're talking about like school rules.
It's a law. If you take it, that's theft.
No, but that's the thing. If she paid for it,
it's still the legal property of MIT.
You're talking like MIT is a company. It's not a company. It's a school.
It's still an organization.
It doesn't matter. Like the rules. Those rules. You want to be a criminal so bad, you making stuff up. Like,
I'm not a company. You could steal from me.
But if it's your stuff. But if I paid you for
MIT stuff.
It's not MIT stuff. She paid for it.
But she built it using MIT resources. That makes it.
That doesn't matter.
It makes it legally property of MIT.
You're talking like she works for MIT. She doesn't work for MIT.
She's a student there. It's the same thing.
She can use MIT resources because she's a student.
Right. And anything she creates is also legally MIT.
No. That's just not how it works.
Yes. It is exactly how it works.
How did you go to MIT?
I went to college. It's a normal college thing. It's not just MIT. Any college you go to, any research that you do on there as a student there or a professor too. If you're a professor and you write a book that they have to use, they are entitled to a portion of that.
So then why didn't the college that Zuckerberg went to, how come they don't own Facebook?
Zuckerberg's smarter than this chick.
How is he smarter? He did the same thing you're saying, but somehow the college wasn't smart enough to be like, well, we should get a cut of that. So help me understand.
Code's different.
What are you talking about? You're talking about what? The code at one school is different than the other school is what you're saying?
Like resources to write code. So
wait,
the money that she makes you could make the argument that that's hers. But the actual physical, she destroyed MIT property in the production of this.
How? Where did that happen?
That's when she got expelled, because she destroyed MIT property building this thing.
She got expelled because she was plagiarizing.
And they said on top of that, the damages from her latest experiment, the cost of that was okay. So she damaged MIT property building.
But damaging the property isn't the same thing as stealing.
Yeah, it is. You don't pay for it.
What are you talking about? Like, you're acting like accidents haven't happened with students doing projects at schools before. Like, dude, you're trying too hard to make.
You're trying too hard to defend a criminal.
No, listen. I was the one that said she became a criminal. You're trying to push the polls forward when I'm like, dude, I'm already saying she's a criminal when she commits crimes. You're saying, oh, she was committing crimes in the last movie, and it's like, that's not true. It's like, then you're saying she's committing crimes as soon as she stole the suit from the thing. She didn't steal. They literally make a point of saying she paid for it. So it's like, why do you think they make the point in the show that she paid for it with her grant money? It's like they make the point to show that
if that was the case, she wouldn't have to sneak it out.
She didn't sneak it out.
Yeah,
she literally walked. She walked right out the door.
She grabbed the pieces, hid them, and then slowly assembled it on her way out.
She didn't hide them.
She did. She totally grabbed them, looked around, make sure nobody's watching, put them in her pocket. I watched the show.
On. Am I tripping? She didn't put the suit on in front of everybody.
She grabbed the pieces that control the suit, hiding, put them in her pocket, and then as she's walking out slowly, the pieces started coming to her. While the administrators and the security guards' backs were turned.
Oh, listen. You pull up the scene of her walking out with everybody's backs turned, and I'll go ahead and concede that point. I don't think that's the case. I think they all watched her walk out with it.
No,
and
snuck out.
And the only thing, like, because that's the thing, is like nobody was like, "Hey, stop!" They were just like, "No, like, listen, I'm telling you all that the chick becomes a criminal in the show. I'm just saying it wasn't at the point you're saying, because it's like, why even try to make it seem as if she's doing something that she wasn't doing? Like, she was plagiarizing because she was giving people her work, and that's the whole thing too. Where it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm cool with plagiarism, because it's wrong, but there's a difference between the person that does the work and gives it to somebody else, and the person that tries to pass off somebody else's work as their own. Like, those two people aren't the same person. You know, like when we talk about, oh, they're a plagiarist, nobody's talking about the person that did the work. They're not, even if they sell it, nobody's talking about that person. They're talking about the person that didn't do any work and trying to pass it off as their own. So it's like, even in that sense, it's kind of like, come on, like, dude, she's smarter than 99% of the people in the school, which is a big deal for MIT, because it's like there's a lot of smart people there. Like,
okay, we're doing this now. We're doing this now because you're impugning on my opinions.
This isn't the scene.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay, she's walking in with security.
Yeah, she's just walking in with security.
Right.
Oh, look, security's not watching. Look at her. Like, okay. Is anybody watching me? Nope. Okay, I'm gonna grab this, grab that, put it in my pocket. Look at that. Is anybody watching? Nope.
But that's not the suit.
Hold on. That's what controls the suit. Because now we're gonna start sneaking parts of the suit out. We got the arm.
She's not sneaking, like she's wearing it.
No.
They can see her.
No, they can't. Look, nobody's looking at her.
But
no, look,
she's not hiding.
Look, security guards not watching.
Okay, they're turning around. They see her.
See her. Too late. She's already got the suit. She's getting the fuck out.
Why is it too late?
Because they can't stop her now.
They can tell her to stop.
She's already flying away.
Nobody's trying to stop her.
They can't. She's got a freaking Iron Man suit on. I'm not gonna tackle her.
I'm just saying.
Are you gonna try to tackle her? She's got a suit on.
No one tells her. No one says, "Hey, stop!" And then they also mentioned, they're like, oh no, she paid for all that. That's her stuff.
One of the other student mentions that because the security guard's like, why is she taking this suit?
Because it's hers.
Criminal.
The only thing that wasn't hers, they took back, which is the AI, right? As soon as the suspension goes through, she loses the AI, and it's not like she's like, oh, how could you do it? She's like, ah, man. She's like, this is messed up because she's mid-flight. I guess she was like, I didn't expect this joint to go through so quick. Official. So, but it's a wild choice that they're like, they took the character from Wakanda Forever and were like, we're gonna make her join like a gang.
I kind of said something similar to these lines last time when we were going to talk about it, but this definitely, they shouldn't have put her in Wakanda Forever. The suit she gets in Wakanda Forever is way better. It's way advanced.
Well, that makes sense though, right?
And had this show come out first, then it makes more sense, because then the suit that she starts off with in Wakanda Forever could be this busted up prototype, and then she gets the good one afterwards. But now it's like, what happened to her good suit? Did the Wakandas just take it away and kick her out? Like what?
Yeah, they say that in Wakanda Forever. They say that they can't let her take the suit.
That's messed up.
I mean, it's Wakandan tech.
I don't know why Wakanda hates black folk.
Everyone knows that about Wakanda. They're like, nah.
That's what Killmonger said. Killmonger was right.
Oh man, that's too funny. No, I think from, especially keep in mind that in Wakanda Forever, she's like legit like a freshman. She's 15. So, or the character's 15. So I can understand why you don't let a 15-year-old freshman leave
really
with
15 in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah,
she's an adult in this show.
Well, it's a number of years later. Like the young lady, the counselor in the show says you've been here. What did she say? I don't remember. She said over 4 years or over 5 years. I don't remember which one she said. And still not on your way to getting your degree. So it's like we're talking about her legit being like somewhere between like 20, maybe 21 now in this show.
I think I'm gonna assume 21 because she was drinking. I don't want to add. I don't want to pile on the crimes.
So yeah. So she's like 21 in this joint probably, because so it's a lot. I like, it makes sense where you're like, okay, we can't let you take that suit. Like, it's too much.
Explain to me the Hood's gang, because I'm not that big into the Hood.
Listen, I don't know that I can, because like, don't get me wrong, like every member of the Hood's gang is like a Marvel character, as far as I know. Or I would assume. Let me put it like that, because like I know.
I think they repurposed the names, because I don't know all the names, but I remember the name Slug. I think it was Slug.
Yeah, no,
it was a major power player in Madripoor,
right? And
not a random hacker,
right? No, I agree 100%. Like the Slug, completely different character in the comics than in this, which that happens
all that
in
aside,
sometimes.
all that aside, I don't know what their plans are. Like they do this heist, whatever,
right,
with the cars.
And
okay, interesting plan, cool, but they don't want money. They want the company owner to sign like partial ownership to them. I get it. It's probably worth money.
Right.
But it's also a legal document. Now, you sign a legal document, you're putting your name on it. Like you have to have your actual name. Just because you call yourself a silent partner doesn't mean on all the documents you have to put your name on. That's pretty easy to fight in court. on top of that, like I'm sure she's if it's a big company like this company is, I'm sure there's a board of directors. I'm sure there's investors that have to approve stuff like it just doesn't make sense. It would have been easier, would have made more sense if they were extorting the owner for money. But
go ahead.
But what they do is like part ownership in the company. Legal documents, especially for somebody with the financial resources to hire a team of lawyers, can just fight it forever. And now your name's out there because your legal name has to be on these documents, or at least some legal. I guess you can make up an ID or whatever. But it's easier to fight that than to just take money. And I don't get what his plan was.
Listen, I definitely agree with you that the Hood's grand scheme is not apparent. There's definitely some sort of revenge element, and what the revenge is and all that kind of stuff has yet to be revealed. As far as what you're saying in regards to like company ownership and adding people as employees and all that kind of stuff, it's like, I mean, obviously like a board of directors for a large company, they don't necessarily have any they don't usually like look at individual hiring decisions outside of the big ones, right? Like, but definitely like partial ownership, I would agree. Like that's something where it's like, okay, like I'm sure a board of directors would be like shocked to find out that would be the case. At the same time too, it's like if the owner is on board, they might be able to explain that away to a board of directors as well.
Just feels it just feels like it was written by somebody who's never had a business class.
I don't know if I would say
there's ways you can do what he was trying to do, where you could have her sign off a percentage of her stock, because that's something that she owns herself, that she could do whatever she wants with and sell for whatever price she wants. But he doesn't. Like the way he does it is just it was dumb, and like I wanted to throw something, but I don't want to hurt my TV.
I mean, I'll say it like this. Like, I think that especially for folks like ourselves who like remember what businesses, how they used to run, it's like it does feel outlandish. At the same time, it's like in this day and age, like there are things like this that happen, where you get like new like randomly, it feels like, okay, where did this person come from that's like now partial owner of a company, or you get like a new CEO randomly or something like that. Like these,
but it just feels like he's adding extra steps.
Yeah, listen, I agree. Like you're right, but at the same time, we don't quite know what the plan is at this point. So I don't know if I would say it feels like somebody that doesn't know business or hasn't ever taken a business class. What I will say is it's definitely like a volatile type of maneuver, but like in this day and age, I feel like that actually happens with companies, which is kind of crazy to say. Like companies used to be stable, now it's like I don't know. What do you think, Jay? Like, is it crazy?
Kinda. Like it would make more sense to just extort for money. Like, we'll give you your tunnel back if you give us cash.
Right. Which is another, like how they kind of do companies with the cyber attacks, right? They're like, we have your company hostage. Yeah. But this isn't just about money, which, like actually gets evidenced in later episodes, right? Where, it's like there's something else behind all this. We don't know what that is. The Hood has like some sort of grand scheme that we have yet to be privy to. So, but yeah, going back to your original question though, Oz, it's like, I know, like, Slug, completely different. You have the Blood siblings, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be like a nod to like the Blood brothers. Like you did have the Blood brothers in Marvel, and so, but like again, these characters are definitely different. I know that there's a Rampage in Marvel as well, but it's such a minor character that I'm just like,
I mean, same here. He's gone.
Yeah, like I'm surprised that they went there. I don't as far as like the explosion chick, like I'm not sure about that one. Like that, I'm assuming since everybody else is a Marvel character that's probably a Marvel character too. But yeah, I don't know. And so, but the Hood classically has like gets like a little motley crew of villains, like eventually he kind of becomes more big time, but initially not so much. So
it's unfortunate that the show I thought was just kind of like it's there. Like I wish I could say it's the worst show ever or the best show ever, because that's something, but it's just kind of it's there. And I think that sucks because the Hood, the character, is actually kind of interesting. Even the way he's portrayed here, like I'd like to see a little bit more of him, but I don't. Maybe we'll get it in the next 3 episodes, but I'm not really seeing it.
I will say that.
The next 3 come out next week. The next 3 come out next week.
Oh, okay.
It's only 6 episodes.
Oh, nice.
Also, some people have already seen all 6, and the consensus is that the last episode, at least the last like 15-20 minutes, are like amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, wow! Like I'm shocked by that.
I don't know if the last 15 minutes of 6 episodes worth of a 45-minute TV show makes it good, but apparently that's where like it all goes down or whatever.
I'm just shocked to hear that based on what we got for these first 3 episodes. And I'm like, amazing. Like, okay, like I'll take it. Like I'm just kind of like, I was definitely taken aback by the direction they decided to go.
Right, because you're a huge Marvel lover. So I mean, overall, what did you think of the show, Lawrence?
Like it's a lot of like strange decisions for me, especially like given like where we were at with Riri Williams' character in Wakanda Forever. Like I mentioned to you all, like I was really looking forward to this show and seeing like that character. And I can't be mad at the idea of a freshman in college, like that person being different than a super senior, like, because Lord knows, like, in 4 years of college or 4+ years of college, you change as a person. Like all of us that have been in college or honestly, or just even in those years, like, there's a big difference. Like we're talking about somebody different, the difference between somebody at 15 versus 21. Those are very formative years. So I'm not mad at them the idea of that person being different. It's just more the idea of like, like it like we already knew that, I guess she, like her moral compass was, maybe somewhat questionable because she was already selling papers back, in Wakanda Forever. But there's a big difference between selling papers and like extorting CEOs, like.
Yeah. And, like when I say poorly written, there's a lot of opportunities to redeem Riri. Like when she's taking the equipment parts from the dude. I don't know, are we gonna say who he is? I don't remember. I don't remember his name. I just know who he's related to.
Right. I think it was like McGillicuddy or something like that.
She's taking first of all, she finds this guy on she finds a guy that has the parts that she needs on the dark web, black web, whatever you want to call it. And then like she's extorting him and taking his parts. I was waiting for the moment where she says, "Look, I'm going to complete this job and then I'll pay you." So she's not just stealing from him. I'll pay you. And it never comes. And I could understand, like, I just wanted to see her offer him compensation for the expensive equipment that she took. And I understand he's probably rich, so he probably doesn't need it. I was waiting for her to make the offer and have him say, "You know what? You helped me stand up for myself, and that's payment enough." But none of that ever happens.
Right.
It just makes her look like not good.
Yeah.
And I get that they're developing a friendship, it seems like. But she's still not a good person. Like, at least make the effort. That's what I want. I want her to make the effort. I want to see that she's not just a dick.
Right. Yeah. Like it is kind of surprising just because, I mean, yeah, like I just don't even understand the especially considering like all the stuff that she had gone through beforehand. It's like, like I don't understand why we have her like in this gang, and she's not exactly comfortable, but she's not exactly uncomfortable either. So it's like, and it's not like she was like forced into it or anything like that. It's
right. Her AI is more concerned about these people than she is.
Right. And this is another thing that kind of blows my mind about these first couple episodes, especially. Like, usually you kind of want to have like a moment at the end of the show that kind of makes you like say like, "Oh, I got to see what happens next," right? And when I tell you like this show, like the first 2 episodes pretty much do the opposite, where I was just like, like what a strange choice to like leave it up. Like, it's not to say that there weren't things happening in the show that I was like interested in, because I was like, but I feel like it maybe took a little bit too. It was a little too comfortable with the idea that, okay, we're going to be premiering like 3 episodes, because I feel like the 3rd episode does kind of leave off in a place where you're like, okay, like they want to make sure that you come back to watch to see what happens next.
But
the first and second, I don't think do that.
The stuff at the greenhouse, like, I like that. That was when they're actually on a case, on a job or whatever you want to call it. Like, okay, it's interesting. And you see that the Hood has some kind of personal connection with his victim.
Right.
So that was interesting. The stuff that happens that makes the Hood question his deal with what I'm assuming is Mephisto, because Borat is Mephisto in this. Like, I hate to say it. I wish the show was about the Hood and not Ironheart.
Hey, like I'm not mad at that.
The more I learned about the character, the Hood in this show, like he's actually interesting. He's more interesting to me than Ironheart.
Yeah, no, the Hood and its depiction in this show is probably one of the most interesting parts of the entire show. And
Jay,
like,
what did you think the most interesting part of this show was?
Yeah.
It's all like the Hood is kind of interesting, but I'm kind of waiting to see where they go with the Ezekiel.
Okay. I mean, listen.
Wait, who is Ezekiel?
That's the guy Riri's working with. That's got
the
all
black
the
market.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, and that's the thing too, where it's like that character, it's not a bad character. However, I'm like, do we have room for this character?
For Ezekiel?
Yeah. Because
I'm okay with him because there's got to be an explanation for why he has the technology that he has.
But I guess more so, I guess the thought is like, maybe, and this is my thought process, like, if you're gonna go with a best friend who is killed and is going to be like the AI component of the suit, right? It's like the ending of that first episode where that gets revealed falls so flat. And a big part of that is because, like, we don't get enough information about the relationship between her and that friend to even care about that person when it happens. Like, that's like, you see the reveal and I'm just like, why do I care?
Dude,
like,
there was so much stuff happening before that reveal that I wasn't even, my mind wasn't even there. I was wondering why she didn't flip the breakers back on after she blew out the power.
Just let the house sit in darkness.
And then I think somebody actually mentions it on the show. Like, she doesn't have an arc reactor. So she's got to charge her. Like, where is she storing batteries to charge this thing? Like, the whole point of Iron Man's suit was the arc reactor powers it. And he had that busted up one that he cobbled together out of spare parts that like could only power the suit for like a minute.
Well, I think she does say it in the show that her suit is.
Yeah, she says it's solar and wind power. I'm fine with. Okay, I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. Where are you gonna put the batteries to store that kind of energy?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
it's a pretty form-fitting suit.
I mean, it has like its little chunks here and there, but you're right. It's not big. There's no part of it that looks like, okay, well, that's obviously the battery, right? Yeah. So I'm with you on that. But it's like, what I'm saying is like, maybe you take a little less time from Ezekiel and spend more time on the friendship, so then that like reveal can hit. Maybe you don't even give that reveal in the first episode. Maybe that reveal comes in the second episode or something. But it's like, I don't feel like it was enough time for anybody to be like, oh, like, cool. Like, especially for you to end the episode that way. It's kind of like,
it's just every time
I don't know.
Every time they do something in the show, it just makes Riri look like a really bad person. Like the way I kind of get why she's mad at the AI for looking like her dead best friend, even though it's like she's the reason that happened.
Right.
But then like the AI and her mom like start talking, and it's this like sweet, nice scene. And I felt something like, oh man, she's having a conversation with a girl she thought died like years ago, whatever. And then Riri's like just a bitch to both of them. I'm like, it might not have even been that bad, but like after seeing like this sweet scene between the mom and this dead girl AI or whatever, I just kept thinking, man, Riri treats people like shit.
No, I mean,
Riri.
She messes around and like when she's like, hey, can you make one of Gary? And she just dismisses that out of hand, like, no. And I'm like, what you mean no? Like, why? Like, I'm not saying how you built this one, but you can at least be like, hey,
an accident. Like, I wasn't trying to do that. Like, it just happened.
Right. You could be like, hey,
at least even if that, don't just say no. Just say, look, I honestly have no idea. I know how that happened because I watched it happen. I don't know how she doesn't understand how that happened.
Well, she was asleep.
She was scanning her mind and thinking about her dead best friend.
Yeah, but
set that aside. You're right. No,
Yeah.
you set that aside. At least say, honestly, I don't know how this happened. I was trying to make an AI,
right,
and this just happened.
Right.
Don't just be like, nah, bitch, fuck you.
Right, and we can, she could be like, hey, we can try to recreate the process and see, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, the fact that she was just like, no, I can't do it. I'm like,
right?
Why? No.
Hook up those things through her mom and say, look, think of this dude, and we'll see what happens.
They mentioned that it's dangerous.
That's true.
What's dangerous about it?
Ezekiel mentions that doing that could like turn your brain to mush.
Oh, okay.
Like he says, anyone that tries that is crazy for trying it.
Okay, so maybe that's why she told her mom no. Maybe she's like, no, I don't even want you to try it because, like, yeah, I don't know, but I'm like, yeah, it came across harsh to me too, where I was just like, oh man, like, because Home Chick is like, dude, I just want to talk to him again. And I'm like, oh, heartbreaking.
All right, well, we gotta get to Dandadan.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, we should go ahead and just rate.
I want to come back to this show after the next 3 episodes.
Yeah, might as well.
As amazing an ending as I've heard.
Listen, I'm blown away by that idea, just because I'm like, and don't get me wrong, like, I don't think the show is terrible or anything like that. It's just the potential for it to be good is there. It's just they make strange choices.
I feel like it's gonna be something stupid, like Tony Stark shows up or something, and
no. It can't be that.
No, not Tony Stark. Like I don't know. I don't know what to think about people somebody who was given the opportunity to watch the entire series to review it. I don't know what my opinion of them would be, because in my head, the people that get that kind of access are expected to nut themselves over it.
Well, I mean, listen, that can't be the case.
To be fair, they all said it was meh. Okay. up until the last 15-20 minutes.
Well, hey, we'll see what happens. Yeah, like we'll talk about it, because Lord knows it's like it's gonna be interesting to see. Look, maybe we just talk about that next week. Like, knock it right out, because like
if you guys get a chance to watch it, because it's gonna come out Tuesday.
Yeah, no,
probably not at midnight.
No, at 6, like the last time. Like, what?
It's 6 to you, 8 to me.
Okay. I
got less time.
Yeah, no, that's true. Jay, what would you rate Ironheart episodes 1 through 3?
I would give it a 3 out of 5. It's right there. Like, it's there.
Okay. It's right there. There it is. Oscor, what would you rate Ironheart episodes 1 through 3?
I think 3 is where, I think 3 is a good number, because it's not horrible, but it's not good. It's just, it's there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I have to give it a 3 as well. I think that is the right number right now. Like, we'll see what happens with 4 through 6, but 1 through 3, 3 is where we're at. So, all right.
I really wanted to hate it, because then at least it'd be interesting.
No, listen. It has its redeeming qualities. Like, I feel like the production value is there, and like, I don't know that there's any like bad performances.
Like I hate the what's her face, Walters.
Oh, you're talking about She-Hulk?
She-Hulk. I hate She-Hulk, but I can understand. I could see people like that's a guilty pleasure. I could see that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so terrible that you could like just have fun watching it.
Oh God! Okay.
You don't even get that with this. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's move on. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Dandadan Evil Eye.
I don't even know what the words you just said are. I read that in the text on like in theaters. Is that even gonna be show out here in the Midwest?
I mean, it's an anime. Which wait, do we need to play? We'll be okay. We don't need.
No, it's still TV.
That's true. That's true.
Theatrical. What they did is they put the first 3 episodes of season 2. Had a theatrical release for them, so you could watch it early and get an interview with the directors of the anime. And so it's like a little extra, like for the fans.
See, and I was going to ask about that because I did look at the runtime, and I'm like, I could have swore Jay said it was like 3 episodes put together, but I'm like, that's way longer than 3 episodes put together because the episodes are like 23, 24 minutes, right? I'm like, that's legit, like just over an hour.
Right.
It's also not in my local theater.
Oh, okay.
They do have Brokeback Mountain 20th anniversary. So
oh, well, look, I think that tells us everything we need to know about the Midwest.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, Jay, you've said it before. Tell the people what Dandadan as a series is about.
Okay, basically he believes in aliens, she believes in ghosts. Turns out they're both real. They both fuck around and find out. And hilarity ensues with her getting psychic powers and him getting possessed by a demon.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when it happens.
Hey, exactly, right? We've all been there. Right? So listen, I know that you've mentioned this show a number of times, Jay. At least like I'm pretty sure to all of us, but definitely to me, I know.
Well, I think Mo mentioned it first.
I think you're right. I think Mo did mention it first. I think you just keep telling me what it's about because every time it was brought up, I was like, "What is Dandadan again?"
Right.
So I think that's where I'm associating you. Where I'm just like every time, like Joe's always the one telling me what Dandadan is, and
right.
So I unfortunately didn't get the chance to go see the movie just because, and that was my own fault. Like it is showing here in LA, but I just ran out of time because I was trying to actually watch the first season and then go watch the movie, and stuff came up, and so that made it so I didn't actually get to go see it. But I did watch. I'm 1 episode shy of the complete first season.
This is also a manga. Did you read the manga?
No, Mo did though.
Mm.
Like Mo is like up there. Like yeah, he's way into it.
Yeah.
I didn't read the manga.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched the show like on Mo's recommendation, and it's fine. Like, well, it's a little better than fine.
It's high praise,
but it's definitely not like
it's ground shaking, Joe. Changed your life. You were one person before Dandadan, and then you're a different person after Dandadan.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Now, I will tell you, Jay, having watched a good majority of this first season, this felt like a show that you would really like.
Yeah.
To me.
It does. Like, I'm not sure what cylinder is misfiring.
I'm like, I was watching this joint and I was like, oh, I think Joe would love this.
Right.
But there's something about it that's just not quite doing it for you all the way. Like, it's not that you dislike it necessarily, but
right. Yeah, I don't dislike it. It's good. And I'm probably I'm definitely gonna keep up with it. But it's not getting me to like read the manga,
right,
so to speak.
Right. So you did go watch the movie, though. Tell us about your experience doing that. Like, Like, were there a lot of people in the theater? And what was your reception of it, like, walking out?
Oh, there was definitely a fair amount of people in the theater, like over half full.
Okay, that's a lot, especially considering like something that potentially they could watch at home eventually.
Yeah, July 4th
Mm-hmm.
is when the season 2 premieres on Crunchyroll.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have waited, but they were like, let's go check it out, support the show. And
now, you went to go see it opening weekend?
Yes.
Okay. Was it like, could you tell that it was a Dandadan crowd, or did it just look like moviegoers?
They just looked like moviegoers. Like, I wasn't watching them too closely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I wasn't actually watching them, just like kind of feeling the vibe from watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a good crowd reactions to everything going on.
Okay. And what was your thoughts coming out of the movie?
It's a good second season. Like, I like the conflict and what they're up against.
Okay.
It's basically this like spirit that causes people to kill themselves if it's not appeased. And yeah, it's pretty good.
What appeases it to not kill yourself?
Sacrifices. Human sacrifices.
Kill other people. Okay.
Other people. Got it.
So death. It just wants death. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good. It was entertaining.
Okay. Like, I know that this is it's done, like, Dandadan is done by the same studio that did the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off joint. And they also did a couple of the shorts for Star Wars Visions. So, like, it's a studio that, like, I mean, they're well known. They do their thing, and I mean, and that's not like, that's just what I can think of, like, or what what resonated with me off the top. I know that they've done a lot of other stuff too that is, like, renowned as well. So, but
it's Science Saru, right?
Say again?
The studio, it's Science Saru, right?
Yeah, Science Saru, yeah. And so, I mean, I can say just from watching, like, the first season that I was like I really enjoyed the animation. Like, a lot of the designs were top notch. Like, the characters are on point. Like, I'm like, this is a cool thing. Like, it's a really cool thing. And it's amazing. Like, man, what a time to be a nerd, man. Like, there's so much stuff. And it's like, it's crazy because I just remember when we were younger, it just kind of felt like, okay, well, if you're a nerd, like, you got to be into this stuff. And it's like, it was kind of, let's put it like this. When I was a young dude, it felt like there wasn't anything happening in the nerd space that I wasn't aware of. It might not necessarily been what I was into, but I knew it existed.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of those fake ass nerds.
Say what?
You're one of those fake ass nerds. I get it. No,
but, like, there's so much stuff now where I'm like, dude, I could, like, you could be a nerd your whole life, and, like, you could be like, okay, like, you can be like, I watch anime, but you haven't gotten around to Dandadan yet. Like, that could potentially have happened. Yeah. And it's this really cool thing that I'm just like, wow, like, that's wild. That it's just like, just over here existing in its own little space. And I can totally, like, I don't, like, I'm not the person that's going to be like, oh, I'm all in on Dandadan. But I could understand why there would be people that are all about that life, because it's like, shoot, the theme song alone, the theme song alone is catchy as hell. Like Oz, you haven't even heard this theme song yet, huh?
No.
Oh man,
Should
you
I?
gotta hear this.
I'll look it over.
Pull it up, Oz. Look, we might get demonetized. Look, if we have monetization to begin with, but but yeah, it's like, dude, it's like the theme song. I was like, okay, I'm like, yeah, I was feeling it. I'm like, dude. So I'm like, I'm sure that there's like anime conventions where they're doing dances to this joint that I don't know at all. So I'm like, okay, cool. And like, you know, like, and I'm like, now I'm happy that I'll be able to like spot the cosplay, because like I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but I didn't know what it was. And now I'm like, okay, I'll know what it is, and that's cool, because like that joint, yeah, it has like an aesthetic to it that is very appealing. Mm-hmm. And the animation style, like I can only imagine what this stuff must look like on a movie screen.
Because, it looks great.
Yeah, like it's so dynamic.
Yeah. And there's like they are really good at like fight scenes,
right?
And chase scenes,
right?
And seeing them on the big screen is like, dude, just really cool.
Like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go see this movie still. Let me put it like that. Like, which is a huge. Like, under normal circumstances, if I was like on Fantastic Forum and there was something that I was like, okay, we're doing it for the show, and I missed it, I would just be, I just missed it sometimes, like it would have, but this joint, I'm like, dude, like I want to see it, because look, and one thing I was surprised by too is like this anime is a really interesting mix of genres. And like 90%, well, not 90%, because off the top, I'll say it's like maybe like.
Sorry, I'll lower it. I'll keep it in the background for you guys because you're still talking. No, you're right.
That joint hits. That joint's amazing. I was like, wow. I'm like, okay, look, you know how many anime intros I happily skip? Like, don't get me wrong, I'd be lying to you if I was like, okay, I watched the intro every time.
The visuals are pretty cool too. I had to.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. It is fantastic. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's one of these things where, like, I would be lying to you if it's like, because I was watching these joints back to back, basically. I didn't watch the intro every time, but I probably watched it like every other time, or like, definitely every third episode without question. You know what I'm saying? Without question. I know, but I probably watch it like every other time just because the song hits, the visuals are amazing, and it's just like, and that was the thing too, where I was like, every anime intro, like you watch the intro for the first episode, and you're like, I don't know what any of this is. And then by the time you get like a few episodes in, you're like, oh, okay, I recognize that now, or whatever. And then, by the end of the first season, you're like, okay, I know everything that is, like, all the elements make sense to me now, which is something that I kind of enjoy doing with anime. But this joint, man, like it hits, man. It hits so hard. But and yeah, like I'm gonna go watch this movie still after I watch this last episode because I would like to see it. I would just like to experience that because the visuals are so cool. But the thing with it is like it mixes like probably like 3 genres of anime kind of together into one, and 2 of those genres I'm not really a fan of. But the way that it like levels and evens all this stuff out, I'm just like, oh no, this is cool. Like, because the comedy is on point, the friggin' action is phenomenal, the love triangle type stuff, will they, won't they type stuff, I'm enjoying. And I'm just like, what? Like usually I would just be like, oh, this just isn't my thing. But something about the way they put all this together, it works for me. Even to the point where we're talking about friggin' what were we talking about? Banana organs. I'm like, what? that joint's hilarious to me. They're gonna take your banana organ? I'm like, dude, we gonna fight. So anyway, what else you got to say about Dandadan, Jay?
No, I think we covered everything. I believe we did.
Okay. Well, listen. Let's go ahead and rate it then, man. Let's look. Give us your rating on friggin' Dandadan Evil Eye, Jay.
I would give it a 4 out of 5. It's good.
Nice. There it is.
Right.
It's good. That's what they go put it on the back of the box, Jay. It's good, Jay. Fantastic Forum. That's fair, man. That's fair. Well, listen, I obviously can't rate something that I haven't actually seen, or I won't rate something I haven't actually seen because I'm not Moses.
Right.
But listen, I'm gonna give you a 4 out of 5 for your review, Jay.
Cool.
Oz, what are you rating the review for Dandadan Evil Eye?
You made me want to watch it, especially mentioning that making me listen to the theme song. I'm not, but made me want to. I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna look.
I respect it, Oz. I respect it.
We're gonna sign off this show, and I'm gonna forget even the name.
You're not that big on anime in general these days, though, right?
Not really. Every once in a while, something like just the name gets my interest enough, like How to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon or whatever nonsense I was watching. But even then, I only watched like 5 or 6 episodes.
Right. You might like Solo Leveling, Oz. I could see that.
That feels like what that is.
Your speed.
No,
yeah, like it's a huge manhwa, which we could talk about that on a different show.
Solo Leveling is pretty good.
Dude, I love it. Like Solo Leveling, for whatever reason, it just hit for me where I was just like, oh, dude. And it's wild because it was one of these things like no one told me about it or anything. I honestly think I like got in like on the ground floor accidentally. Just like, like it premiered on Crunchyroll and I saw the name. And I was like, Solo Leveling, that sounds interesting. And I'm like, oh, I'll watch an episode of it. By the end of the first episode, I was like, I need to watch all these. Like 100%. I was just like, dude, I feel like Solo Leveling helped me on my weight loss journey. You know what I'm saying? Where I was just like, dude, I need to get like, oh boy,
It's interesting because you guys watch a lot of these on Crunchyroll, and like a lot of the animes that I see, it's just because they pop up on Hulu.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But Hulu has a pretty decent anime selection, right? Like, I mean, like
that's where I watch that random ass How to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon or whatever.
Right.
Right.
Like if you don't have Crunchyroll, because like Crunchyroll is pretty much for people that are looking for anime, right? So it's like if you're not watching, like if you don't have Crunchyroll or that's not an app you use already, then Hulu is probably the next best place, right? Am I wrong in that?
Hulu will probably make you get Crunchyroll.
I mean,
as far as like the regular streaming stuff, because I mean I know there's like technically other streaming anime platforms, right?
Yeah, like there's High Dive,
right,
and the niche Retro Crush. But yeah, Hulu has a good selection. Like if you're not trying to go all in, Hulu's a good place to start.
Right. I think Hulu got all the Gundams.
Oh, nice. Well, not
crazy.
The new one.
Huh?
They don't. Do they have the new one, the QX? I think that's just Amazon.
Yeah, it might be actually on Amazon, and that's it. But I feel like they might have like a deal. Yeah, like I'm mad at that name. I'm just like, I think it's like Quicks. It's a weird. I was just like, dude. I'm like, why would you name it that? Like, what does that mean? But okay, whatever. Listen, we listen. It's time for us to get out of here. Let's do some final thoughts.
All right.
Because I was just like, yeah, it's so wild. I love Gundam though, and I need to watch more of that show. All right. Jay, why don't you give me some final thoughts, buddy?
Dude, Anime Expo is in like 2 weeks from now, or like a week from now.
Like crazy, right?
Yeah.
July is going to be insane.
Right. It's, man, crazy.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Indeed. Oscor, give me some final thoughts, buddy.
I don't know if tomorrow or maybe the next day, but coming up, finally got a package.
Oh, nice.
So,
ooh, Jessica Cruz. I'm excited for that. Okay. Oh, look at you, man. When'd you take that picture? I love it.
Yesterday.
There it is. I love it, man. Listen, you need to change all your profile pics to that. Listen, for the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. Please let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of. We'll listen. Go ahead and hit us up. We're on all the socials. You can come to the Discord. You can be part of that too. Until then, we're the Fantastic Forum. Have a good night.